Tom Riley. I'm 25 years old. I'm a teacher from Long Island, and I am the last-minute replacement for Stranded Season 2. Wednesday. So yeah, we have about 2 days. I'm a gigantic Survivor fan. I've been watching. My parents were really big fans, and I'm 25, and the show is 25, so I've been watching my entire life, never missed an episode, obsessive. I've played a couple LRGs before. You will not find somebody who's a bigger fan. But I don't think I'm annoying about it. Like, I don't need to sit here and be like, oh, did you know that the fourth person voted out a Survivor Guatemala? Like, I don't do shit like that because I think that kind of turns people off. I think this is what I said the first time we spoke. I love Survivor China so much. Like, that's my comfort season to go and rewatch. And I think that I can position myself like a Todd, who is like the younger brother to everybody out there, and everyone thinks is in his pocket and is kind of underestimated, but is sneaky and has schemes and views the game in a very analytical way. I was always impressed by how he could connect with like James, who was so different from him, and like then he could be like a mean little twit with Courtney, and he could get along with the little evangelical Christian lady. Like, he was a chameleon in that season, and I think that's the kind of thing that I'm very good at. That's the thing that I would like to try to emulate. Definitely, I've had a weird experience with LRGs. The first time I played was when we were together, and that was Survivor Brooklyn South on the road, and I did okay. I think I was 11th place. I went out like right before the merge. There were some circumstances with that. That was such a fun experience for me, and then it got me to do another one, which I remember you were also tied to a couple of months ago, Survive the Day, and I came in 5th place, and I was the person who got voted out, and the entire jury told me, oh my god, you would have won if you made it to the end. You were the biggest threat. You were the one that they had to take out. I became like, you know, the fallen angel of it. And I think that that experience that day, the second one, really, really gave me like a bigger sense of confidence in myself, because I've always thought of myself as like a really kind of awkward person, somebody who doesn't always get along with everybody, and I've certainly like gotten better about that as I've aged and matured. Like, doing well at LRGs and like getting people on my side and like let's pull off a blind side together and developing their trust helps me like bury my like middle school self who was like bullied and excluded and who I'm still like healing from. And I think that that's the awesome thing about doing these, is that you get to prove something to yourself about who you are socially and how you can influence people. And I think that's like really, really fun. Watched the first 2 episodes last night. I watched episode 3 today, and I'm gonna get, I know 5 just dropped, right? Or 4 just dropped.
Yeah,
I'm gonna get those done before I go out. I love about this LRG specifically is that it's edited in a way where you're always getting to hear everybody's thoughts. Like, you're always getting a check-in with every player that's there. I think there are some members of the cast who I find like really zeros. You know what I mean? Like, there's some people who I look at them and I'm like, wow,
Roll the names.
Gibble. Like, when I think about that dumb kid, that I just think if I'm on a tribe and he's there, like, I'm probably fine. I probably don't have to worry too much because I'm going to insulate myself better than he is. I feel terrible for Mr. like Hawkeye, who was the first one voted out because of his knee. Like, something that I took away from him is that he was comfortable with having his name thrown out there, and everybody piled up on that. And like, that is a good thing, because sometimes in these LRGs, I find that you go in to strategize, especially early, and it's like, oh god, just somebody say a name. But like, you don't want to be the person that says the name. Like, he being comfortable with having his name out there is what cost him. And it's funny too, watching that made me think about like how I want to play it. I don't think I can tell anybody that I wasn't on the cast and that I was called last minute, because it's just a reason to vote me out. It's something that would set me apart from the rest of the group a little bit. And if you give people that like invitation, they will take it right away. I like the way that you do your challenges. The bottle thing is fun. I'm waiting for a payoff from that. And
well, if you watched episode 3 all the way through, there was a payoff.
Yeah, what's his name with the long hair got it at the end, right?
One.
Yeah. So I'm liking everything that I'm seeing so far. I think the summits are fun. creatively, like, there's nothing that I disapprove of. You used one of my favorite challenges right in the beginning, the running laps with the backpacks thing. So I'm excited to take part. From what I'm seeing with the way that the challenges are done, I think I can do a decent, bit here. And I like that it seems that these players kind of have more time, like more downtime together to be able to
Yes.
really like get to know each other. And that doesn't always make for the most like interesting thing to put in YouTube, but sometimes when all you're talking about with these people is like, who do you want to do? It just becomes, I don't know, I'm not even like attached to anybody anymore. So it does seem
Yeah.
that these people get more time to really get to know each other and make bonds to make the decision of who to vote out like difficult. And I like that. Thing specific. I mean, I don't have time to like get in shape or anything like that. Um, but I have sort of every time that I've thought about what am I actually going to do out there, my mindset has just been, you know what, I'm already playing with house money. Like I'm already getting to do it. I'm already getting like this kind of lucky fluke opportunity that I I'm not going to like try to build up grand plans in my head. What I'm seeing on the show is that, you want to make God laugh, tell him your plans. The people that sit there before the game and say, this is what I'm going to do, all of that, it never really works out for them. The people that go into
Mm.
the game and say, I trust this person because I played that game with them and I know them and I know them and I know them, doesn't really seem to work out in their favor. So I'm not there's not a lot specifically that I'm going to do. I like that I'm going to have more time. I like that I'm going to be able to like go on walks with people, like do more one-to-one and really build a relationship, and that it's not just like we're over here and then there's another group over there and it's like, okay, what are you going to tell them? Like I I don't even feel like I need prep in that way. I just think I need to get out there and like do my thing. This I have spent some time on. I do think there's um, somewhat of a possibility that I will have somebody that I've been in a game before with. I don't think it's a huge possibility because most people have played more than I will. Like I expect that I'll be somewhere in the middle as far as people's level of LRG experience. But just because I was in a game with somebody doesn't mean I automatically become their ally or trust them. I will try my best to make them think that. I'll put up the front of, oh my God, we're season whatever sisters from whatever other thing that we did. But I think that that is a way of putting blinders on, taking somebody off your radar and trusting them unconditionally because you played with them before. That's, that can set you up to be screwed over by somebody. But the lucky thing is, with both games that I've played, I think there's a lot of people who I spent a little time with, but I didn't really like play with. So they don't know my game, especially if I get anybody from Survivor Brooklyn. I didn't really get to do much there. So I spent a lot of time observing and being on the jury there. I might know more about those people than they do about me. I might be more threatened by them than they are by me. And I think that that's a good position to come in with. So that's, anybody that I know prior, I'm keeping an eye on them. I am not blindly becoming loyal to them, but I sure as fuck want them to think that I'm just like, yeah, it's us to the end. I want to try to take advantage of that if possible. Ooh, okay. So this is a spot that I've never been in, right? I've been voted out twice, completely blindsided both times. Um, I don't want to be somebody who will act like irrationally and make a fool out of myself, but I am willing to go scorched earth on people. If I am confident in myself that I'm being told I'm good by an alliance, but that they are on the low voting me out, I think that the easiest way that I can turn the tide on myself is by one-on-one revealing information to people, because I'm in an alliance with these people that are trying to blindside me, right? So if I've been playing my cards right, I know stuff about them, I know their plans, I know who they're telling me they get a bad vibe from and who they would like to target, and I may know about some kind of idol or advantage. I would go to the person in the outside of my alliance who I think is the most insecure, right? The person who is the biggest wild card, and I would leak some piece of information to them. And if I don't have a piece of information to them, I could just like make something up. I saw, you know, Katie shuffling around in her bag with like a dark brown piece of paper. I don't know, like I'm a little worried about this. And then I would try to get that person to spiral and change the plans off of me. Because honestly, I don't think it works well when you're the person who's getting the vote and you go around and you're like, oh, I'll vote for anybody. Just tell me a name. I'll write somebody down. I could work with you guys. But when, you know, because the person who everyone has agreed to vote out has no power. Somebody who's in on that vote, if you make them spiral and you make them change the plan from within, that's the better way to try to save yourself. I got so frustrated the last time that I played a game because I was in the majority alliance after the merge. Like we had the numbers, we were largely doing a pagonging, and the tribal council host would be like, wow, you guys really aren't playing, you're just voting out the people in the minority. But I was like, the people in the minority just come up to me and say, hey, is there a name, because I'll vote for anybody but me. It's like, that's not really good gameplay, man, when you just be desperate like that. You have to actually like influence others to make them change course off of you. So that would be my strategy in going about that. I really want somebody like Dave from season 1 of Stranded. I want like a dad character. I want that because I want an ally who's like calm and different from me, and who, if I get in my own head and I'm freaked out about things, they can kind of calm me down and they see things from a different perspective and they can bond with people that I can't. I would really like to have a like 50-year-old man who's like, hey, we're throwing some hot dogs on the grill type of, like, that kind of character as an ally. Because number one, I don't think that outsiders will see us as an instant pair, me being this like young prissy gay guy with this like older dad. And number two, I think they will keep me in check and they will stop me from being silly and erratic. The person that I don't like is the overly gamebot character. You know, I talked about Gibble already. Somebody like that who is like so worried about looking smart and like having to know everything and being, you know, so set in their actions, and the person who already thinks they're going to win because they've played some games and they know people from before. I don't think I can vibe with somebody who's just a complete game bot, because they will make stupid moves just for the sake of it, and I don't like that. I don't want to be allied with somebody who is always going to go after like the biggest target. It's not fun for me, and I'm going to be that big target at some point. I need to work with people, again, like the dad, like the person who doesn't play a million LRGs and who will actually be willing to go to the end with me once I make myself a big threat. Last time I made myself too big of a threat and I got taken out. I don't want that to happen again. So I want a dad, and I want to get rid of all the little geeks. Knowing how seriously you take the tagline, a player like me should stop trying to predict what will happen next. So, like the example is, you can't go into a vote when there's 11 people left and say, let's get rid of this person because we know we're going to merge at 10. When I hear the be adaptable amidst the chaos, I think, like, don't be certain of things, because the game sounds like it is set up and oriented in a way that will shock and do unexpected things. So I would expect to like have the tribes swap a lot. I would expect to have a lot of twists in play, and I would expect things to not run in a conventional, predictable way, which means I can't base my strategy off of, oh, well, I know, you know, we're going to swap at 14, so I need to make sure I get rid of this person who I think is going to flip. I can't base my strategic decisions off of that if the tagline is that important and the game runs the way that I think it will based off of the tagline.
Talking about chaos, um, the game starts right now because I have an offer for you. So listen up. I am willing to give you information about the twists and turns of season 2. However, for that information, I will need you to sacrifice your first vote at the first tribal council you attend. So, are you willing to give up your vote at the first tribal council you attend for information about the game, or do you want to keep your vote and go into the game completely blind? You have a minute to think about it. Speak out loud. I want to see where your mental state is,
Okay.
and just let me know where you're at.
Okay. Oh my God, you're killing me. All right, I'm nervous right now. Here's the thing. The information, like, there is a chance that I can get it from somebody else, right? Like, I could keep my vote and then have somebody tell me the information that's out there that you're giving out, right, on the tribe. And I'm like, I think a lot of people say yes to this. I feel like there won't be a lot of votes available at the first tribal council. It's so common that an advantage or an idol shows up in the beginning of a game like this. Having your vote is really, really valuable. And knowing the twists and turns can be really valuable too, because you can plan around it. But if enough people say yes to it, again, like, I can find that stuff out. If more than one person says yes to this, then like the secret is out. And so information will get out. Like, I think I'm the kind of person that people want to tell things to. People love to confess and vent to me. I'm leaning, I want to keep my vote. I am, because I'm confident that I will, like, get whatever you're revealing told to me. Oh, but I feel like I could be making such a big mistake by saying this. I think I want to keep my vote.
Is that your official answer?
Yes, I want to keep it.
You're keeping your vote officially. Okay. Well, lucky for you, that was just a test. There was no information actually up for grabs.
Wow.
That test was to show us, to show you, and to show the viewers how you react in making quick, snap judgments and how you react making decisions under pressure. And what does that mean for the game? And with that being said, will Tom survive being stranded? Only time will tell. Thank you so much.
You are the Antichrist.
Oh my God.